What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we're doing a national report with Enrique, who got second at U.S. Nationals with his Wailord Suicune deck. Now, if you've been under a rock, you don't know what Wailord does. If you notice, there's no energies in here. The whole point of the deck is to deck out your opponent and just pass, and your opponent eventually runs out of energies and decks out. Now, Wailord has 250 HP, and with the Heart Charm, it basically has 270. Heart Charm says it damage is reduced by 20, so the only way you can one-shot it if you do 270 HP to one-shot the Wailord. He goes over why he plays Suicune in the deck and asks many questions about his deck. We talk about the Trick Shuffle, we talk about the Hue, we talk about the Shauna, we talk about the Silent Lab, and it's a really good interview. Make sure you pay attention if you want to learn about the Wailord deck, but hopefully enjoy the interview, and thanks for watching. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we're doing a Nationals report, and what's your name?
Enrique Avila.
Alright, and we know that you played the Wailord Suicune deck, and obviously it went really well for you, but what decks did you play in Swiss, and how did they go?
I played in Swiss. I played a lot of Raichu Bats, which really isn't that bad of a matchup. And if they draw pass, it's a little tougher because they play the Sacred Ash and stuff. But a lot of people didn't really know how to do that, so I just got rid of their energies. I played against a Manectric Suicune, or a Manectric Empoleon, and that one was pretty easy to beat because I just lock up Empoleon and they can't really do much. And I also played against four metal variants. Played against two Metal Ray, and then one regular metal, and I beat both of them. And I also played a Night March, which was pretty easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what was your record overall?
After day one, it was 7-1-1. My only loss was a Max Armitage, who was playing Toad, and he did the drop pass game, and I prized 2 N and the Shauna, so I couldn't really do much about that. Yeah, and the game took like 45 minutes, and whatever. It's not even worth game 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your one tie to?
My one tie, I ID'd Omar. He was playing Kyogre.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, going to day 2, are you excited that you're playing Wailord Suicune?
Yeah, I was pretty excited, and I also was really nervous because I was scared people would figure out how to play against us, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a really bad day 2. Then I ended up going 3-0 to start, and I'm like, oh, I guess this isn't so bad. Yeah. Played against the Landorus Bats and stuff, which is a great matchup.
Uh-huh. So, how'd you end up doing day 2?
Day 2, I ended up winning my first 3, and then my last 3 opponents wanted to ID, and I kind of dodged a bullet there because Dylan Bryan knew how to play against it with his deck, and he ID'd me, and he ended up knocking my friend Brandon out of top with his deck. So I was glad he wanted ID.
Alright, so making it to top 8, are you excited that you made it this far? Did you think your deck would actually go to top 8?
No, I honestly did not think so. I thought one of my friends would because I picked up the deck way later than them. I didn't believe in it until a week before Nat. So yeah, I was totally I was surprised that I was the one doing amazing with it. But after going into top 8 and I heard we'd see everyone's list, I was pretty excited.
Okay. So going to top 8, what are you up against?
I went up against Hippowdon, which he played the matchup very well. Like he would Hammerhead, so consistently putting damage out, so I'd have to play healing cards, and then once I took out all his energies, he'd play the draw pass game. I ended up winning both matches, but he did take me very close. He was a good player.
Alright. So going to top 4, what did you play against?
Manectric Garb. His strategy was really good, but I don't know. I just ran him out of resources. I locked up both games. I just ended up locking Garb when he was out of energies to manually retreat it. He'd have like 2 energies on it, but not the third one, so then I'd grunt it, and then that was locked there, and then I'd win the game.
Alright. So it seems like everything's going great so far, and I guess in the finals you're playing against Jason. How are you feeling at that moment?
I was so nervous. Like, I wanted to pee my pants. I had no idea how to handle that. I'm like, I'm in the finals at Nationals against Jason. Like, what do I do? It was crazy.
So what happened?
What happened in finals?
Yeah, just in case if they haven't watched.
Yeah, if they haven't watched.
Yeah.
I don't know. I won game 1 pretty well. I played very well game 1. Did exactly what I was supposed to. Game 2, I started feeling the nerves of being on stage, and then the headphones, the white noise is really irritating, and it started getting to me. So I started making play mistakes. I mean, I still had him. Like, if time wasn't called, I had him in checkmate. I had way more cards than him, but he was able to outplay me game 2 completely, to take it to time. And then sudden death is horrible for Wailord because all you have to do is end me to 1, and I run out of healing cards. So you just draw past me, attack me, and put me in a bad position, then end me, and I can't do anything.
All right.
So yeah, he ended up winning, and then I AZ'd to concede because you got to give him that.
I know everybody was chanting AZ once they saw it and you drew into it.
Yeah, I heard that in the mic, or like I heard it through the headphones. It was so loud. I'm like, whatever. I got to get them what they want. And let's eat it.
I mean, but second place with a very, very rogue deck is very nice, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So, what was the idea behind Wailord?
The idea was just to consistently heal and make them waste resources, and by the time they realize what your plan is, it's too late.
All right. And
That was
so,
originally how it went.
so why did y'all decide to play it?
Our friend my friend Brandon Zettel, he built it, and we thought he was kidding, and then he beat like all our decks we were testing. Like I was testing Raichu Bats, which I hated, and Metal and stuff, and or not Metal, Metal beat him, but it was decks like that, like all the popular meta, and he just beat all of them, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is kind of the real deal. So then we started play testing with it for a month and a half, and we're like, okay, this is actually really good. And then the test run was Austin called it. He said two of us would get our Worlds invites off the deck. So he took it to 2 league challenges, went 5-0 at both of them, and got his Worlds invite. So that what caught my attention. I'm like, all right, maybe I can get top 16 at Nats with this thing and get my invite. And that's what happened.
All right. So, I guess I got some questions about the deck, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So, what was the idea behind Suicune?
Idea with Suicune was like to stop decks like Dragon Ray, so it forces them to power up something they can't one-shot, and then you get rid of all their specials. So then they can't one-shot in the end. And then, I don't know, it just gave a good out for a lot of decks, like against Mega Manetric, which can consistently hit you for 110, and they don't care about energies. So that was basically the deal behind it.
Okay. Now, you did play 2 Hue. Did you ever want more than that, or was a 2 just perfect?
No, 2 was fine, because generally if you're draw passing, you'll hit it eventually, and when it's at a good moment. And if you don't, you can always Shauna back in, and then Hue again.
Okay. Now, I've seen some lists running around with 4 Trick Shovel just to try to help mill your opponent out. Why'd y'all decide to go with 1?
Because it was kind of gimmicky, and we really, to cut it, we just wanted, in order to cut it, we had to cut like 4 ofs for healing cards, which we tried, and it was just bad. We would lose with only 3 Max Potion and 3 AZ and stuff. You needed the 4 ofs. So Trick Shovel was like the first thing we cut. The 1 was nice because when I took people by surprise, I would go Trick Shovel, dowsing Trick Shovel, and then I'd just win like that, and they're like, oh, where'd that come from? Just the 1 surprise factor was nice.
Yeah. Now, why did y'all not play Pokemon Center Lady?
I don't know. We found it irrelevant with like AZ and Cassius where we could completely shuffle them in. But I definitely think in the finals, Center Lady could have been really nice. That is one card I probably might want in if I could find room for it.
Now, y'all decided to play no Crushing Hammers and instead just play 14 Flare Grunt. Was there ever a moment you're like, man, I wish this was a Crushing Hammer so I could play that and a healing card at the same time?
No, honestly, I never. We had Crushing Hammers in the original list, and we ended up taking them out for more important stuff, like the Sacred Ash and little things like that were actually way better. The Crushing Hammers with the 50-50, I didn't like the odds because you don't hit the energy, then you're discarding 1 of your own cards for none of theirs, and that's not good.
Okay. Now, you did play the 2 Silent Lab. Why was that?
Silent Lab was because Metal was just a horrible matchup, and when it won Canadian Nats, we were like, oh crap, we wasted all this time with this deck and we're going to lose. But then we realized how we win other matchups was locking stuff up. So the Silent Labs are for running your opponent out of doubles and float stones, then you lock up a Bronzong. You Silent Lab so they can't rush in, then you win.
Okay. Now, you did play 3 in and 1 Shauna. Why'd y'all decide to switch that around and not just play 4 in?
Yeah, we had 4 in originally, but we realized with decks, like sometimes you have to give up prizes in order to put yourself in a better position with a Flare Grunt. So we were playing the draw pass game and we'd lose because there's no way to get less cards than your opponent when you heal. So we put in the Shauna, which is actually really clutch. We would Shauna, so now you have 5 when they have 30 after you run them out of VS Seekers and stuff like that to shuffle stuff back in. Then you heal like 40 cards away and you lose like 10. Yeah.
Okay, that's very nice. Now, after this tournament, would you make any changes to the list, or you think it's pretty solid?
It's pretty solid how it is. I mean, after the tournament, I was happy with all the cards in it. I don't know. If I were to build it again, I'd probably want 1 Center Lady in it just for the poison damage.
Now, some people have talked about putting water energies in it just to use the ability. Would you ever consider that? No? Yeah.
That's so bad. No.
It's just too hard to pull off.
Yeah, like, that's not worth it. And you don't have a letter to grab anything. Like, that would just be a waste of space.
Okay. Now, right now, there's, of course, a lot of hype of Bunnelby, just saying it could beat Wailord. Do you think one of Bunnelby could actually beat the deck?
Yes, we were terrified of Bunnelby.
Yeah.
Because we were testing with Yoshi, Tate, and all of everyone in Green Bay. and they all started putting in Bumblebees because they would try everything to beat the deck and they couldn't. So they just put in a single Bumblebee. So we stopped testing with them because that beat it. Just one Bumblebee, we're done.
Okay. Now, besides the one Bumblebee, what are some scary matchups?
Metal and Dragon, or Metal Rayquaza are two scary matches. It's just how the cards fall if you beat them or not, because they can just consistently hit you, and you have to be able to heal and disrupt at the same time. Sometimes that can be difficult.
Okay. So after top 8, you got your 300 points. So very nice. Now, did you have your Worlds Invite before then?
No, I did not. I only had 160 speed.
Okay. Now, did you just not play a lot, or were you busy during the year?
Yeah, I didn't play very much. I'm pretty hard into school. I'm pre-med, so I don't have much time to play. But when I do, I mean, I do well when I actually get to play tests. Like during cities, I did well at cities because it's break, and then Wisconsin States we had spring break to test for, so I got second at that.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, when I went to tournaments during the school year, I was horrible. I had like 1-4 drop. Like, oh man, it was bad.
Okay. Now, speaking of Worlds, we saw last year Pyro did great. It died off. Year before, Gato Sogor did great, died off. Cling
Yeah.
Clang, same year before. Would Wailord fall into that same category? Do you think Wailord actually has a chance this year?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the deck's pretty solid. If we can find a way to beat Bumblebee, I mean, why not? But it'll be interesting. I don't know yet. I haven't really even thought about Worlds because I'm still like in awe of what just happened. But yeah, if I can find a way to make Wailord work, I would.
Yeah. So, if tomorrow was Worlds, would you play Wailord just straight up just YOLO, or would you switch to something else?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's my first Worlds. I mean, I expect to get destroyed anyway, so I'd probably just go with Wailord. I mean, I played 17 matches with it. I'm pretty comfortable with it.
That's very true. Alrighty. Well, do you want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to everyone in Green Bay, Cody Walensky, Son Worcester, Austin Zettel, Brandon Zettel, and Yoshi Tate for all the advice. And I want to give a shout out to Michael Lux for picking the deck up the night before and making top 64.
Alright. Well,
Yeah.
very nice, and congratulations once again on getting second, and I'll see you at Worlds, man.
Awesome. Yeah. See you later.
Alright, take
Thanks.
care.